Hello, my beautiful heathens. Today we're discussing a subject that's haunted me for years. It's not ghosts, not aging entirely. It's not the algorithm. Lies. It's the keto diet. Or as I like to refer to it, it's a means of summoning weight loss through butter and spite. Welcome to Awkwardly Gothy. Awkwardly Gothy, read in the best way. A little witchy, little silly, come hang out and stay. If you love dark thoughts and laughter, this is where you wanna be. Perfectly imperfect, awkwardly Gothy. Awkwardly Gothy. Before anyone rushes to the comments to tell me keto is either a miracle sent by the diet gods or the very worst thing to happen to humanity since low-rise jeans. I'm not here to convert anyone. I'm just sharing my own experience because after decades of yo-yo dieting, I once again find myself trying to lose weight after gaining about 30 pounds back of the 50 I lost previously. And every time I start looking for solutions, keto rises from the fog like a mysterious goth wizard. Come, come, it whispers. We have bacon. I've been on more diets than I can count. Low fat, low calorie, point systems, meal replacements, and whatever strange nonsense was popular at the time. I've lost weight, I've gained it back, I've lost weight again, I've gained it back again. Just look at my little slides there. Seems to happen at the same time every year. But at this point, my body treats diets like seasonal decor. They appear for a few months and then disappear into storage. But one thing I've noticed is that keto is one of the few approaches that has consistently worked for me. Not because it's magical, not because carbs are evil, but because it helps me to manage my appetite. And for someone who occasionally stress eats like a Victorian widow, receiving bad news, that matters. For those who are unfamiliar, keto is a low carbohydrate, moderate protein, high fat way of living. The goal is to reduce carbs enough that your body switches from burning primarily glucose to burning fat for fuel. It sounds simple, and in reality, it often begins with several days of your body throwing this traumatic tantrum. Your brain is used to sugar, and your body is used to sugar. And suddenly, you've informed them that the bread basket is no longer invited. And this announcement is not always received well. Let's talk about this thing called the keto flu, because nobody warned me way back in the day. People will say things like, you might feel a little tired. A little tired, my body ached like I had personally betrayed it. Headaches, fatigue, moodiness, cravings. For the first 3 to 7 days, it's really can be off-putting. And I wasn't sure if I was adapting to ketosis or being haunted. Thankfully, again, this phase usually passes fairly quickly, but those first few days can feel like your organs have started a labor union. Now, let's talk about the good stuff, the reasons why people stick with keto. For me, the biggest benefit is reduced hunger. When I'm eating enough protein and healthy fats, I don't spend my entire day thinking about food. It's huge. I don't constantly feel deprived. I don't find myself wandering into the kitchen every 20 minutes, hoping that snacks have magically appeared. And when I do stay consistent, the weight generally comes off. Not overnight, and not through witchcraft, just steadily. Which, frankly, is less exciting but considerably more reliable. Keto also changes your relationship with food in strange and unusual ways. You need to become a label reading detective, and every grocery trip turns into an investigation. You're standing in an aisle, squinting at ingredients you're deciphering like an ancient cursed manuscript. Why does this have sugar in it? Why does this have sugar in it? Why? Why does this have sugar in it? Eventually, you begin to start distrusting even perfectly innocent fruits and vegetables. At one point, I was looking at a banana like it had personally wronged me. A banana. Think about it. Now, let's address something important. What if you don't eat meat? Because keto often gets marketed as a bacon festival. And while bacon may be the unofficial mascot, it is not the only option. Doing keto as a vegetarian or a vegan is absolutely possible, but it does require more planning and creativity. Plant-based diets often rely heavily on foods like grains, beans, and legumes. Did I say that right? Which unfortunately are higher in carbohydrates, so the usual staples might not fit neatly into a keto approach. But it doesn't mean you're doomed to stare longingly at lentils forever. If you eat dairy and eggs, things do become much easier. You can build meals around eggs, the overachievers of the food world. Cheese, Greek yogurt, watch the carbs, watch the sugar. Cottage cheese, low carb veggies like spinach, zucchini, broccoli, cauliflower. Cauliflower can be your very best friend. Nuts and seeds in moderation. We would eat a lot of macadamia nuts, which were, I did all the work last time around. Macadamia nuts are one of the best as far as the benefits to your body and the keto footprint. Also, pistachios, I think were quite good. So we were eating a lot of things like that just as snacks. Omelets loaded with veggies and cheese. I mean, every meal could be an omelet. Why not? Cauliflower-based dishes, big one. You can mash it. I swear, a good cauliflower mash um, just really gets that craving out of the way for like mashed potatoes with butter. You can do butter and mashed cauliflower, and they sell it pre-prepared these days with, you know, you just have to look at the label and make sure they don't throw in a lot of extras. But I can't think of the brand. If I think about it, I will put it here. I should have two of my very, very favorites. I could eat these all day forever. What else? Zucchini noodles, creamy sauces. Creamy sauces like, oh gosh, if you get the Rouse, if you don't want to prepare sauces, the Rouse Alfredo sauce. You look at that, it has very, very few carbs. It's totally in line. Tomato sauces, Rouse is my pretty much my go-to. No matter what. I love their sauces, for pastas and things like that, which I don't eat much more these days. Let's see. Yeah, salads with nuts, seeds, and full fat dressings. Put some um, blue cheese on there. It's so yummy. So there's definitely a lot of advantages. And again, you can, if you're vegetarian, you can really, I think you can thrive easily as a vegetarian. Vegan again is more challenging. I did attempt to do that the last time I was losing, the 50 pounds, and oh, I did so much research, but basically the Vega shakes, if you use that, it helps you to kind of keep things in relation to each other without having to go for the more produced kind of fake meats and things like that. I do believe Impossible Burger was not bad. You just have to read the labels, look for sugar, avoid sugar and excess ingredients as much as possible. And you can go far that way. So, other vegan keto tips is you'll want to focus on tofu and tempeh, low carb veggies, nuts and seeds, coconut products, milk, cream, oils, avocados, yum yum, nature's buttery gift, plant-based oils like olive and avocado oil. Try and get the cold pressed versions whenever possible. Protein can be trickier. So, again, you're going to want to maybe supplement with some low carb, plant based protein powders. But regardless, whether you're vegetarian or vegan, you must prioritize protein as much as possible and choose low carb veggies as your base and use those healthy fats to stay satisfied. Be mindful of hidden carbs in plant based products, they're everywhere. And accept that your version of keto may look different, and that is okay. Because at the end of the day, keto is not about worshiping bacon. It's about finding a way of eating that works for you, your body, and your lifestyle, even if that lifestyle does not include aggressively sizzling meat. You can sizzle some Beyond Burgers, though, or Impossible Burgers. Go right ahead. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the importance of intermittent fasting. Something that pairs suspiciously well with keto is intermittent fasting. It sounds dramatic, but we're really just choosing specific windows of time to eat. Instead of eating or grazing throughout the day, all day long, you give your body a break. And surprisingly, your body doesn't immediately file a complaint. It takes it a while. 12 hours of no eating. Your body has mostly used up all the glucose from your last meal. The insulin levels begin to drop, and your body starts shifting towards burning stored fat for energy. It's not too dramatic just yet, but it's the opening act. What happens at 16 hours is where things get interesting. Around 16 hours, your body is more firmly in fat burning mode, and your insulin is lower, your fat oxidation increases, and your body may begin a process which is called, and I always have a problem with this word, autophagy, which is essentially cellular housekeeping, and it is so important to prevent aging and disease. It's your body cleaning out those damaged and unnecessary components, like Marie Kondo, but for your cells. At 20 hours and beyond, fat burning continues to increase and your ketone production rises. Your growth hormone levels may increase, which helps you preserve muscle. Autophagy becomes more active, and your body is essentially running on stored energy and doing internal maintenance at the same time. And it sounds very efficient, and perhaps it might seem slightly unsettling. But here's the most interesting part is that keto and intermittent fasting together complement each other beautifully. Keto helps you to stabilize your blood sugar and reduce your hunger, which makes fasting easier. Fasting, in turn, helps your body enter and stay in ketosis more efficiently. It's like they looked at each other across a dimly lit room and said, "You complete me." When you become fat adapted, is what they call it, your body is already comfortable using that fat for fuel. So going longer without food, it doesn't send your body into a crisis and it feels manageable. Sometimes even easy. The hardest part about keto is not giving up the carbs. It's being consistent because life will eventually happen. Stresses will eventually happen. Holidays happen. Birthday cake happens. Garlic bread happens. And suddenly you're standing there at a crossroads wondering whether your goals are worth saying no to warm bread. And sometimes they are, and sometimes they aren't, because life can get really messy. So, sustainable weight loss is rarely about perfection, it's about progress and consistency and getting back on the keto train when you've taken a brief side trip. Let's talk about something that doesn't nearly get enough attention, and that is sleep. Yes, actual sleep. Not scrolling your phone in bed while telling yourself you're resting. Real sleep is when your body does some of the very most important work. When you sleep well and get a good night's sleep, your body repairs tissues, muscle gets rebuilt, hormones that regulate hunger, like ghrelin and leptin, stay in balance. Cortisol, your stress hormone, stays lower, and your brain processes information and resets. So, in other words, your body is quietly fixing things while you lie there unconscious. And it might feel a little bit like cheating, but in a good way. When you don't get enough sleep, things will get chaotic and hunger hormones increase. Your cravings are going to go up, especially for those sugary, high carb comfort foods, because your body becomes less sensitive to insulin. And so your decision making skills take a dramatic vacation, and you find yourself suddenly standing in that kitchen at midnight thinking, maybe I do need toast. Sleep deprivation, something I'm very familiar with and am working on, increases stress hormones, which make fat loss more difficult. So while diet and exercise, of course, they matter, sleep is that silent partner holding everything together. Without it, everything becomes harder. After years of gaining and losing and regaining weight, I've learned something that's important. No diet is magic. Not keto, not the intermittent fasting, not moon charged kale harvested during a blood eclipse. The secret is finding an approach that you can maintain, one that helps you make better decisions more often than not. Because consistency beats perfection every time. Say it with me, every time. Will keto work for everyone? No. It's definitely helped me and in the past, and I'm going to continue tweaking and adjusting things as I go. Learning as much as you can about how your body works and oh gosh, you can just go down rabbit holes. I do with the ingredients and the macros and all of that, but you also don't need to overwhelm yourself with that. But the more you learn, the easier it is to bring your mind back, reel it back in, because you'll have lots of reasons why one choice is better than another. But weight loss is not a destination, although it's difficult not to see it that way. But it should be like an ongoing side quest, one that many of us seem destined to repeat over and over again. But hopefully not. Hopefully you take and learn from the diet and not go too fast and just make it more of your normal eating method and just adjust your calories as you need to for maintenance. Um, when you're dieting, it's better to look at it as, okay, this is my new plan for how I eat. Right now, I'm going to choose lower calories until, I meet goals and do what's necessary. If you have tried keto, I want to hear about your experiences with it. What worked? What didn't work? Did you develop trust issues with bananas? Please let me know in the comments. Until next time, though, please look out for your fellow goths and other alternatives, both online and in real life. I will be checking. Till next time, I love you all. Bye.
So hit subscribe and stay spooky. Share a laugh for free. You're part of the magic now. Awkwardly gothy. Awkwardly gothy.
Did we get it? It's hot in here. It's so hot.